What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Had to check and make sure my mics were charged up, because a lot of times I forget on my videos, and you guys see it. But anyway, many people suffer from mental illnesses in this country, and they're on medication. What about the ones that are not, and they commit crimes? Unbeknown to them that their reality is delusional. Enter this guy right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy you see up here is 25 years old, and he's seen better days. His name is Alexis Hernandez. And last month, this guy killed his landlord and his landlord's friend and a child that one of them had, one of their children was present in the house but was unharmed. And the reason why he claimed to have done this is because he heard encrypted messages coming from his air vent in which he seen a dead cockroach, which alerted him that the landlord was going to kill him. And grant you, this guy has only been a tenant renting a part of the house from the landlord for 6 months. Told you, man, that mental illness is serious. And so are the crimes being committed by people that ain't on medication, and sometimes the ones that are. Take a look at this.
It's a stunning confession from a suspected murderer. A man claims a cockroach convinced him to kill 2 people at a South Valley home. News 13's Bianca Hoops has new video explaining how the night unfolded.
Last month, Bernalillo County deputies were dispatched at a South Valley home after receiving reports of gunfire. When they arrived, they say this man, Alexis Hernandez, had a gun in his waistband and a Marine Corps saber on his hip.
For the Marines, there's 2 bodies.
What?
There's 2 bodies. There's one right here.
Go ahead and set the sword down for me, dude.
Shortly after deputies detain Hernandez, they hear a child yelling for help in Spanish.
What's wrong, buddy? What's wrong, dude? What's wrong, dude? Where's your dad at?
That's when deputies found 2 dead men inside the home.
I'm gonna have one body. Appears to be unconscious, not breathing.
One of the victims was Hernandez's landlord, Hector Rios. Hernandez had only lived at the home for 6 months, but he claims Rios started stalking him.
Can you tell me about that? What do you mean by stalking you?
I think all the lights in that room are cameras.
Hernandez then claims he received warnings from unusual places, like hearing a creepy voice coming from the vents and from an insect.
Came back, he left me a message, like an encrypted message. It was a dead cockroach, and so I figured out the message was that he was gonna kill me.
Hernandez then tells investigators he shot Rios and Rios' friend, who was visiting at the time. While Hernandez says he was scared for his life, the deputy questioned his mental state.
At any point in your life, have you ever been diagnosed with like any mental health disorder, like schizophrenia or bipolar or anything? No.
Bianca Hoops, KRQE, News 13.
Alexis Hernandez is charged with 2 counts of murder and child abuse. He's behind bars awaiting his trial.
Okay, guys, that's the story of this guy, Alexis Hernandez. Charged with 2 counts murder, 2 counts child abuse. I guess for committing an egregious act in front of the child. Now, this occurred in Bernalillo County, which is located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So this must have been in Albuquerque, because that's what it's saying in this thing. Now it says, we've seen the story, right? Now it's a little bit more information up here. It said, according to the arrest warrant affidavit filled by the Bernalillo County Metropolitan Court, deputies responded to reports of gunfire in southwest Albuquerque just after 10:30 p.m. When deputies arrived, they were met at the front door by Hernandez, who had a firearm on his waist and Marine Corps saber on his hip. Hernandez, who was immediately detained, told deputies he was in the Marines and he had he had to do what he had to do, the warrant state. He then allegedly states that there are 2 dead bodies inside the residence. Once inside the home, now listen to this part. Deputies found 1 man dead with possible gunshot wounds in the front of the house, and the second man dead with apparent stab wounds in an attached apartment. So these guys were in the same place. He had to go from one, let off shots, and then go to the other apartment and stab the other guy. I guess because they said they got a call of shots reported. So maybe he shot the landlord. The guy came down there to investigate after calling the cops because he got quiet. And he either chased the man back in the house or he went and knocked on the man's door with a sword and gave him the business. Extreme paranoia. Was it mental illness? Was it drugs? You know what I mean? I looked at the comments and I was like, you know, a lot of people saying give him the death penalty and stuff like that. If he was mentally ill and he put in his head that certain people he didn't kill the kid or nothing. He left the kid there. But then again, I mean, I don't know what goes on in the mind of people that feel as though somebody's coming after them. But either way, man, just listen to this for what it was worth. I saw this morning. I couldn't even believe it. They said basically up here, it says, where's it at? Okay. It says he got an encrypted message in the form of a cockroach that he needed to kill, authorities said. Now this is, if you listen to what they said, now I'm not saying what they saying is wrong, but if you listen to the initial part of the interview, he said he was hearing sounds coming from the air vent, right? Strange voices. He didn't understand what it meant. Said then he saw a dead cockroach and that let him know it was encrypted that they were going to kill him. So the dead cockroach, he somehow made it to where that was representative of him if he didn't heed the messages coming from the air vent. That's crazy. And you know what's messed up? Mental illness is a disease, like schizophrenia and stuff like that. A lot of us don't have it. And a lot of us have a hard time understanding, you know, how people not in their right mind can do such things while we are reflecting out of ignorance in our right mind. That's real. You know, normal person like, oh, I would have came out of that. I'd have snapped out of that. I'd have been like, okay, I ain't doing, you know, this and that. But sometimes these voices won't go away. We see them play out on movies sometimes. Somebody's like, oh, these voices in my head, I can't stop. You know how it is. Maybe he was going through this type of shit. But I do know this dude right here, man, at 25 years old, he shouldn't be out in society if he can just snap and do something like this. And they asking him, has he ever been, you know, checked for mental illness? That's one thing. Another thing is this. He said he was in the Marines. Said he had a Marine saber on him and a firearm. So, I mean, I'm more than sure they would have seen this shit if something was going crazy. If he was doing crazy shit. I mean, talking to us, you would have heard something. Either way, man, this is a perplexing story, man. It's just sad. You know, 2 people lost their life. And all they did was give him a place to stay with a landlord. But, you know what I'm saying? You never know what's going on in the head of somebody you meet or is around. You know what I'm saying? Your next door neighbor, whatever. And I'm not saying this to try to scare anybody or nothing, but I mean, man, you got to keep your head on the swivel nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever can happen will happen. You know what I mean? A lot of times. I'm just glad the little kid's okay. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Just when you thought you heard it all, something else come and knock that out the park. Exhibit A right there. See you in the next video. Take care.